Oh snap, we are live. Hello, everybody, all 32 of you. It is Siege, and welcome to Livestream Weekend 2, or I guess the Sitdown 2, or something, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm just starting it out. Will be here in a second. He has the link, and he is just getting settled, and then he'll be joining us. I am not wearing my hat because of reasons. Yeah, no, I can't wear it with these headphones, so no hat. So I'm just gonna be talking. Oh, I can hear myself. There you go. Okay, yeah. So he will be here in a second. I need to check this chat and make sure that it's actually working. So yeah, if you guys can type and tell me where all y'all is from, that's right, is from, and I will know that the chat is working well while we wait for Will to jump in here. Look at this. Will isn't here right at the beginning and the views jump all the way down. What is this? It's alright. They'll go back up. They will go back up. See, Will, like as in like Will Terrell. Yeah. What's up, guys? How are all of you? But yeah, so he will be here in a moment, and it will be awesome. And I won't be all alone. I'm all alone. No one here beside me. The troubles are gone. All right. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm also at a different location because I'm at my friend's house because my house got ridiculous, and yeah, there's stories about that. Yeah, but okay. All right. So we got Denmark, Finland. We got Mars. That's a cool place. I've been there once or twice. It's all right. It's all right. Nice weather this time of year. We got Norway again. Always Norway. Always Germany. Germans. I have a lot of Germans in here. Kentucky because that's a country. All right. Thank you, Luke. We've got Sweden, Latvia, the Netherlands. That's somewhere that I want to go. So yeah, let's do. Okay, Chicago. That's a country too. I made a joke last time I did this count when I asked people where they're from because everybody told me their country, and then Americans were just like naming off states, naming off cities, naming off their school that they went to. It's really funny to me. So Bulgaria, wow. What time is it over there? And there's literally no way I can read your name. So that's cool too. So if you ask questions and stuff, I just have to sit here and be like, oh yeah, of course. Like there's no way I can say your name. But yeah, again, if you guys are just joining us, well, joining me, yeah, Will be here very shortly. He's just getting set up and getting in, and then we will be off and away. Yeah. See, Earth is a good place, like escargot. That's pretty much exactly how I said your name yesterday, just like black escargot. But you get it twice sometimes. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, of course. You guys are huge. Tell that to the guy living in Canada. America is enormous. I've never seen anything as big as that before in my entire life. And I guess that's why the Russians never tell you where they are from because Russia's so small, right? Crazy tweet, man. You crazy. Kipland. Ah, okay. Hmm. Yeah. So let's see. One second. One second. Okay, I gotta get back and look at that chat. Yeah, see, will be here. Uh, uh. Okay. Oh, damn! Look at this. You're all inconspicuous. So don't worry about my name. I get it. I get it. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing some of you guys have gotten questions together and stuff like that for Will. Hopefully, maybe not. Maybe we don't have any questions. Maybe it's just gonna be a sweet chat, or maybe it's gonna be a not sweet chat, and there's just bad questions all around, and that's terrible. Don't do that. That's horrible. What's wrong with you people? Yeah. So we are waiting just a little bit longer. It won't be too long now, and he'll be here in a second. Will, oh, Will is here. He's there. Check it out. All right. So he'll be in here in a second. Yes. Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Will's hiding in the chat room. Okay, let's see. I'll do this. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. So yeah. So as you guys can see, Will is chilling in the chat, and I have invited him into here so he can get into his director seat. Hello, Romania. Man, you guys are really getting like crazy with these names. Like I can't read half the names that you guys are posting. Steve reprimanded who? You can't reprimand nobody. Yeah, so thank you guys all for coming for the second day in a row. That's kind of nuts. I figured you guys would be tired of seeing me already, but I guess you are tired of seeing me already, and you're just waiting for Will. So it's it makes sense. But yeah, whatever. It is a beautiful overcast day today outside, and yeah, let's get things started. Let's like what do you guys want to know? We'll get the ball rolling from now. So what's going on? What's going on? Let's hear what you guys have to say. It's just kind of weird because I'm in a friend's house right now, so he's like down the hall and he can hear me. Normally I just talk to myself, but today now I'm talking to myself in front of others. It's just kind of weird. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see what's going on. My phone is kind of loud. I should probably turn that down. That all rhymed. It was on purpose. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So there's a few problems with him getting into the room because G Plus doesn't like him, it seems. So we're trying to deal with that to get him in here. Hey, thank you, thank you. Where in Canada is the best place to live for a new immigrant? I don't know. I mean, I guess there's the hot spots, which is like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. A lot of people. Uh, a lot of people go to those places. I don't know too much because I've been to like Calgary and I've been to I don't know a few other places. But yeah, those are like the hot spots really for where most immigrants end up going. So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, my favorite. I haven't been to Vancouver yet. Although I heard it's really nice, but my favorite is Montreal because people there are so nice. And yeah, people are just like, yo, you can't go to Montreal unless you speak French, but it's not true. They're like, they're so mean to you. I'm like, no, that's not true either. People are so nice. I mean, as long as you're trying at least a little bit, then people are pretty nice to you. But yeah. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try to help get Will in here. I can't wear that today because I have to wear my headphones. See? So yeah, the hat is retired. It's over there. I'm sorry. I could like try to squish the top of it and get my headphones into it. It's like, ooh, whatever. I can't even. How can I describe what that would be like? Okay. Okay. So yeah, Will is still trying to get in here. He's fighting. He's fighting to get in here for you guys. So just give him some time, and we'll get him going. It's just he's having technical difficulties right now. Yeah, it's not letting him join on his computer. So he will trying to get in here. But okay, my keys. Let's see. If I had a snotty art persona, I can't even. I don't even want to try. Like, I mean, I feel kind of bad even thinking about it. You just have to, because I mean, I guess you just have to use really, really big words all the time, and I don't know, just be kind of douchey. Not doing it. Not doing it. Oh, piece of advice: don't eat anything after you brush your teeth. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. On sale style headphones. I got these on Boxing Day. They were like $20, but they're normally what 50 or 60. I ran there. It's like I need to be some headphones, Sony. Give me some headphones, Sony, and they're all like, okay, fine, we'll do it. So yeah, then they gave me headphones. And hold on, let's yeah. So I'm gonna put. Oh, I do have them in there. Okay, good. I was making sure that I had Will's link up in the description. If you guys are from my side and you don't know Will, well, first of all, that's a lie. You are a liar. But if you don't, you can go and check out his channel. It's in the description beside the chat room, just over to the left, and you can go there and you can subscribe to him, which I'm sure all of you are from Will's channel, so I don't even have to tell you this. So yeah. But if you're not, if you just like, fell in here drunk, then you can go over there and you can subscribe to him because he's awesome and he's hilarious and his laugh is contagious. And that's what everybody's waiting for right now. Yeah, mouthwash is bad. Yeah, don't eat after mouthwash. That's the worst. It's terrible. Yeah, I remember I tried to keep mouthwash in my mouth for like a bit longer than normal, and it just burnt out the inside of my mouth from my tongue, and I couldn't taste anything anyway. So that was kind of cool. Yay. Okay, so okay, cool. Video game question. My favorite video game. Um, like of all time, or like like an old game that I used to play, or now? Because I'm not playing anything right now. I'm kind of waiting on Borderlands, new Borderland that's going to be coming out next. But my old favorite game was SOCOM 2, and I lived for that game because it was just like, it was like a team spirit, and my clan was badass, and we were like hardcore. Well, I mean, we weren't hardcore. We were just more of a family. So yeah, it was pretty dope. I loved it a lot. What? Don't know Will? Well, thank you for coming for me. Now it's time for you to learn who Will is and go and subscribe while he tries to get into this call, into this hangout. D. Mitsuki, yes, I am going to Japan. I'm just waiting on some paperwork right now. I got my passport. I think I said in my last video. My passport finally came, and now I need my permanent residence card. I can actually come back to Canada once I finish, or else I'll be going straight to England. And yeah, but yeah, so but yeah, I'm going there soon. In the next few months, I'm gonna be gone, and then I get to leave my living situation too, which is gonna be fantastic. I can't wait to not be around the people that I live with because, yeah, honestly, when I move, get ready for some amazing stories because it's gonna be hilarious how much I out this guy. It's gonna be terrible. All the bad karma is gonna come crashing down on somebody. Yes, prepare yourself, prepare your bodies. Yeah. Okay. New games. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been playing any new games right now. I tried to get into MOBAs, but it just was not working out for me. So Yeah, I'm not a MOBA fan, but I like the art. I like the design. I like how it looks. I even like watching people play. It's really cool. But yeah, it's not a yeah yeah. What am I going for? Oh, what am I going to Japan for? Oh, to travel, see stuff, and be with my girlfriend. Yes, yes. Yeah. You want to make? Of course, I'm going to make videos in Japan. That's like the direction of this channel is to is to do videos in Japan, about Japan, from Japan, with Japan. With literally, Japan will be right here in my videos. We're like, hey, how's it going, Japan? And we're gonna just work together to make sweet video love. Yeah. And don't worry, it will. We'll get you in here soon. I'm gonna send you another invite and see if we can get you in here. Um, I might be in England. I have to go there because all right, hold on. I'm just sending off an invite again. See if this works. All right, let's try that. Um, yeah, I might have to go there just because I don't have a Canadian citizenship. I'm a landed immigrant, so I have to go to England first so that I can get a 1 year working holiday visa in Japan. So I mean, I'm gonna have to live there for a while, like with my family, and then after that, then I'll go to the embassy and get all my stuff sorted out, and then leave, and it'll be awesome. I hope. I'm not sure how smooth it'll go, but whatever. We'll see. Computer. Oh wait, that was the question. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you want about new games? Yeah, I don't know about any new games. Sorry. I mean, I do know about the new games, but I'm like, yeah. Um, yeah, computer that I use, I don't know. I use an Asus uh, laptop right now, and it kind of, I mean, I love it, and it was my first laptop ever, and a friend actually got it for me, which was fantastic and so kind of her to do something like this for me. But I know for editing and whatnot, I need to get myself a better, like an actual, like a PC, right? And like pack it up with power, power, and then go forth with crossbow. I feel bad right now because I'm kind of like using Will's name to get people in here. So bad. I'm gonna put Cynic's name in the title and then Sycra as well, and yeah. Like Mark Brunet, and then everybody will join, and I'll be like, "Surprise! It's just me," and everybody be like, "Oh, disappointed," and leave, and people are gonna start lighting stuff on fire, and it'll be bad. But yeah, it'll be bad. Yeah. What up, Coffee Snooze? Just said, "Sup, nerds? What are you, cynics? Get out of here with that garbage." All right. Let's see. Favorite Game of Thrones character? That's hard. I like what's that dude's name? Well, okay, most of the people that I liked are dead. So I try not to like anybody anymore. But I do like the dude that like well, I mean I like Arya, of course. I think everybody likes Arya. Um and I liked that dude that was all like he's just when you see I won't be the same person. And he came back, he's a different dude and he walks off. I was like, what? Like that guy made me so excited. He's just like, oh, he's like, you have 3 requests and you can kill like 3 people. I was just like, ah. So yeah, that guy was my favorite. He was so cool. Yeah, so that's who's my favorite Game of Thrones character is. Wait, Arya. Oh, and Tyrion. Tyrion's just cool as hell. Tyrion snapped and went nuts, and they tried to like portray him in a different light, and I was just like, what? But yeah, and Cersei, I hate Cersei a lot, but I mean, I think she's an awesome like the character herself. It's like I respect her for the level of hate that I have for her. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it makes sense in my head. Okay, don't judge me. I'm tired of this. And yeah, yeah. Keenan Lafferty. I've heard that name, but I haven't met this person yet, and possibly soon, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I want to get into a live stream with Give Me a Break, man. That's who I want to live stream with. That's my person. So you guys all go in this direction. I have my people. All right. I have Will. I have Psychra. I have Cynics on Wednesdays, and that's all I need. I'm not greedy. I'm a nice person. Okay. Oh, we have a question. Okay, so let's see. So this is from half monochrome. Wow, really, guys? Seriously? Why can't we get names like Steve and Bob and stuff like that? You guys making me read. All right, so we have. Do you think taking stuff from other people's styles and thus changing your own for the better is cheating? No, I don't think that there's such thing as cheating in art. I think there's just putting forth ideas, and it also depends on what you're using your art for, where you're going with it, what the final outcome of it's going to be. But yeah, there's no real cheating if you're just taking elements of this, taking elements of that, because nothing is truly original. Everything is pulled elements from other stuff, mixed together into your own vision, and then it comes out however you want it to, regardless of if you want it to or not. Unless you're like the first artist and you've never seen another human being draw anything before, then I can understand if you are like the original of what you do. But most people have subconscious influences from other things, and it's so deep down at this point that like it's not an active thing that they call upon. It's just what they do. So yeah, but there's no cheating. Anybody who's just like, oh no, you're cheating, just tell them to get down off their horse, because they've been sitting up there a bit too long. Yeah. So yeah, do what you do, get what you get, learn what you learn. Don't limit yourself based on other people's angers and the internet lynch mobs and whatnot. Be like, oh no, you look a bit too much like this person today. Oh no, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna run away now because you're really bad about doing that. No, just do what you do. Be proud of who you are. Oh, it's in frame. Let's keep it out of frame. Okay, yeah. And yet you're right. Probably singed. It is the assassin dude. He's so cool. Oh yeah. And let's eat one of these things. Look, it's an advertisement. I don't know if it's backwards for you guys. It looks backwards on my screen. But it's Mintia. It's Japanese. Zia. Okay. I don't even know how many I have left. Oh, I have a couple more in there. So they're little mints. And they're so good. They're so sweet. Oh, so delicious. Okay. Oh, cool. My chat's finally updating. So, what's up? The Helen Will. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your second day here. That's cool. Have you seen Steins Gate? Yes, I have, and I love it. I watched it twice. I mean, it was kind of bad that it took 13 episodes for me to get excited about it. And oh snap, it's CT! But yeah. Yes. Okay. Hold on. I gotta check something real quick. And I'm getting messages. Okay, connect and tells me to please wait. Okay. Yeah, we're still trying to get Will in here. He's like really having some technical problems on his side. I'm gonna invite him again. And
did that work?
Oh, yes, it worked. You're here.
Am I in the right chat?
Yes, you're in the right chat, it seems like. Yeah, finally.
Oh, man, that was dumb. I don't know why it took so long. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. So people are gonna get hyped up because CT's in the chat and you're in the call now. So people's minds are gonna be blown. That's crazy. All right. So thank you for joining us today.
Yes. Sorry about taking so long. Let me get my mic set up.
It's totally cool.
I can't find my headphones either. It's so disorganized.
I was responding to your DM, and I was just like, and all of a sudden I heard this echo. I'm like, oh man, did my browser reset itself? Because you know how it starts echoing. I'm like, oh no, it's him. He's here.
Oh man,
that's cool. And yes, I am watching Tokyo Ghoul.
What?
Yeah, things. Oh no, somebody asked if I was watching Tokyo Ghoul. I'm trying to catch questions real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, things are they're interesting today. Last night, last night was kind of crazy at home. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Were
Things that
police
things that.
called? Because that's not always a good sign.
No, not this time, thankfully.
Nobody had to go away in an ambulance.
Oh yeah, if that happens, then it messes my chances of going to Japan. So hopefully
Oh,
not. Yeah.
okay.
See? Yeah. You have to be really good. You can't get in any trouble when you're trying to go overseas, right? So it's just like,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
just be a good person, and then you can leave the country. So yeah, that's what I'm focusing on right now.
yeah. That's so exciting.
Right? How was yesterday? You were off and you were away at
Comic
a
Con.
convention. Yeah, Comic Con. I've never
Yeah,
been. How was it?
it was pretty amazing. Yeah, wall to wall people, and yeah, it was really good.
That's awesome.
Got to
Anything?
catch up with a lot of friends like that do comic books and cartooning and stuff that I hadn't seen in a long time.
That's awesome, man. Uh,
Yeah.
any like specific amazing thing that happened? Like any random thing that went down?
Daniel Radcliffe was walking around the convention in
What?
a Spider-Man costume.
Really?
Yes.
Was it head covered so nobody knew it was him?
Yeah, yeah. He didn't tell anybody till afterwards.
Oh
So
my
one of the
god.
Spider-Mans I bumped into in the bathroom could have been Daniel Radcliffe. And I heard Peter Jackson was walking around too in like a evil clown costume
Oh my
called
god.
Peter Jackson.
These guys are trolling people now. I guess this is how they get to go to conventions and have fun
I guess so. Did you
without
see
people like
last year
Ron.
how Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad came to Comic Con dressed as Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad? And he had this like mask on that was like a super realistic looking mask.
Yeah,
And he was just wearing that and then wearing a Heisenberg like shirt and pants and he had a higher pitched voice to try and disguise it. And he would just walk around and everybody wanted to get pictures with him.
that's
They didn't.
amazing.
They had no idea it was the real him until the Breaking
Uh,
Bad panel, and he gets up on stage and he takes the mask off, and everybody's like, "Yeah,
if I was a celebrity, I would just troll people like that too.
oh yeah, seriously."
That's so good. Wow.
Adam Savage from MythBusters, he's been doing it for like 10 years.
Oh
He comes
yeah.
every year with a crazier, bigger costume, and nobody ever recognizes him.
That's so good. I mean, I guess. Oh, actually, yeah. Somebody asked if you saw Art Germ at Comic Con. Did you go? Did you see
I
Art
did
Germ?
not. Mm-mm.
Ah. Yeah.
I may have seen him. I don't know. It's such a crowd. I mean, it was like 150,000 people this year.
Wow. Damn. That is
That's like
a lot of people.
a tenth of the population of San Diego.
Jeez, it's crazy. Yeah. No. Like, is it? But is it like? Is it well set up? Is it nice and spread out and whatnot? Like, is it like good to
Uh,
get around or?
I mean, they do the best they can. Like this year, actually seemed a little easier to walk around the convention. I mean, I guess it depended on where you were in the convention center, but like you could actually turn around and tons of volunteers in the aisleways, like making sure nobody just stopped in the
Yeah.
aisles
Oh,
like
that's
they
good.
normally do.
That's really
But
good.
yeah, it was. I think it was a little less crowded this year than the last time I went, which is I think 2011. Uh, but downtown was nuts, man. Like the trains, I've never seen them that crowded.
Damn. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, that's kind of like there's like the ups and the downsides to going to these events. It's just like, yeah, when I'm there, it's gonna be great, but getting there is going to be terrible.
Yeah. Well, and my roommate and I decided to take the train down from where we're here. We're in Oceanside, which is like an hour north of San Diego. So
All
we took
right.
the
Yeah.
train down from there. So we kind of had a head start to get on the trains down in
Yeah.
for Comic
Oh
Con.
yeah, because you're on first. Yeah.
That's cool. It was a good show. And I did a little tiny meetup for people that were at the convention and or that are in San Diego, and I had about 10 people show up to come meet me, and I was so excited.
Nice. I guess it was kind of last minute too, because like you found out like during the night that you were going in the morning, right, or in the day.
Oh no! Like the meetup, I did that on Friday night because I thought there was no way
Oh.
in hell I was going to Comic Con this year.
Yeah.
But we went to dinner afterwards, and we're walking around Horton Plaza Mall, which is the mall near the convention center. and we're waiting for this elevator like off in the corner, and this guy walks up behind me, and I was like, "You look really familiar." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Joe. I used to publish your comics for." He was like the editor. Hello? Oh no, it's frozen. Hope that's not my end. But yeah, so he had an extra badge, and he's like, "Here you go." Hello? It's all frozen. Am I frozen? Hello? Is anybody out there? Oh man. I don't even know where the chat is. Did I get dropped?
I got dropped.
I was still on air the whole time. But I didn't pick my nose or something.
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm like, he froze, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I froze.
Oh, no. Well, I was like talking, and then I realized that like you know that video of the dog that like they're teaching him to not steal cupcakes, and the dog just kind of like stares.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So your screen was frozen like that. I was like,
Oh no.
how long has he been staring?
That's all right. Hold on.
What were we talking about?
Hold on. I'm hiding my other me from the broadcast right now. Sorry.
Oh, okay. There's two
Yeah.
versions. The cupcake you.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, we were talking about your meetup. You went out to dinner, and then that's when I got disconnected.
Yeah. So we were waiting for the elevator, which I don't know why we're waiting. I mean, it was like way off in the corner. I didn't even know there's an elevator there. And this guy walks up behind me, and I recognized him. And he was my publisher, from Antarctic Press. And he's like, "Hey, Will, how's it going?" And I was like, asking if I'd had a table at the show, and I was like, "No, I don't even have a badge." And he's like, "Oh, you want one?" And he just handed me an extra badge. He's like, "Give it back to me tomorrow." I was like, "Okay."
Like, oh, all right. Well, I mean, I guess.
Man, it was pretty awesome. I was very thankful, and it was just like a chance running into somebody, and yeah, it was good.
That's good. That's really awesome. I wish that would happen to me, but unfortunately, I don't live anywhere near. Well, I mean, I'm close to Fan Expo in Toronto.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I mean, I can go to that, but I don't even know how many people are around here. Like, and when is Fan Expo? I don't know. Have you ever been to Fan Expo? Have you been to Canada?
No, I haven't. Not yet. I'd love to.
Oh man, come! It's nice and cold. Bring a winter jacket. I'm joking. It's not cold at all.
Yeah, I hate cold.
Yeah, come in the summer. We do get our next video.
I grew up in Colorado. I've had enough shoveling of snow for my life.
Oh yeah. No, I think the worst part about snow isn't the snow itself. It's the snow plows, like the snow plow drivers and the snow plows. Like you'll finish shoveling your driveway and everything. You've been out there for like 2 hours just finishing it, and then they'll wait for you to finish, and they'll just speed down your street as fast as possible and just build a wall of compacted stone and snow in the front of your driveway, and you have to go out there with a pickaxe and try to get rid of it.
Oh man, that's awful.
Horrible. You get rid of it, you throw it into the road and everything, and they just come back again for round 2. It's terrible. Oh, it's the worst.
And then scraping ice off my windshield, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah, no. That's never fun. I mean, I like the sound, but I don't like the action. So I got one part out of it, and then the other part, nah.
No, I'll stick to going to the beach every day. That's why.
Yeah, I'll go to the beach too.
Well, you're gonna be in Japan, man. It's pretty amazing out there.
Yeah, nice and humid. I love humidity.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I moved from Colorado to Houston, and
Uh,
Houston's like the complete opposite. It's like super humid, 90 degrees, and it's all sweaty,
uh,
and it's like I'm used to being in Colorado where like it's so high up, it's a mile high city, and it's so high up that like you only need like one breath to survive for the next. Then I go to Houston, it's like.
well, I mean, happy you're still alive, I guess.
Yeah, I survived.
Yeah, you made it.
We were only in Houston for a couple of years and then moved to West Texas, which was a much drier heat. I could survive that.
Yeah, dry heat I'm totally fine with because it's just like, oh, this is like, it's kind of uncomfortable, but it's not that uncomfortable. But humidity sticks to you, and you're like, ugh.
I hate it. But yeah, in West Texas, it'll get like 100, 105 degrees, but you can stand in the shade and it still feels like 70 because it's got a nice cool breeze or something. Where Houston, it doesn't matter what you do, it's going to be hot. In a bucket of ice, and you're still like, it's so hot.
It's kind of funny to hear these numbers because I'm in Canada, right? And we don't use like the same system, right? Celsius, right? Yeah, so you're like, I'm just like, wow, cool. I put into that today. So, like, that's like first degree burns type weather that you guys are living in.
Right. I could boil a chicken.
You go outside and you are cooked. Like you're perfect.
Yeah.
Just check your temperature inside out. No poisoning. It'll be great.
Oh, so we have questions, right?
Yeah, we have people in the chat. You got in here. We had to do catch up.
Blah 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 blah.
Like, yeah, so how's life? Oh, cool. How's the wife? Yeah, no. All right, so let's see. We do have some things going on in here. People are just kind of talking at this point. Somebody asked, Sean C. asked it. Well, he said that we should go to Anime Nation in Jamaica. So,
nice.
we could do that in the future. We can go to Anime Nation if it's still happening. Is it? Yeah.
One of my best friends in high school when I was in Houston, we used to do workout together because like I'm a big guy. I'm always been kind of round, but he was from Trinidad. And he walked with this limp, but he had like these dreadlocks and stuff. And he like walked everywhere with this limp, and everybody was like, "Why do you act so ghetto and stuff?" And he's like, "Because I got run over by a car." That's why I walk with a cane and a limp. What made it worse though is that he had a twin brother who looked exactly like him, who didn't walk with a limp. So it made yeah, he was funny.
It's terrible. Oh my god. It's like the perfect revenge. Like everything's flipped on people at that point. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Oh, so we've actually got a question now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So this is from Mikey's Monarch. He's very active in the chat always. He says, if you had to relearn your art career, what would you relearn first?
Oh man, I would have gone to a good figure drawing school. Early on, and I wouldn't have stopped. Because I'm here in San Diego now, and I've already signed up for a couple classes for the Jeff Watts Atelier, which is the school I went to in 2005. And the guys that I started going to school with back then are like teachers now. And they're amazing. They do illustrations for Magic the Gathering and Dark Horse and
nice.
I mean, these guys are incredible, and I remember them being like, okay, I was like, oh yeah, I can get there, but now it's like, whoa, I need 10 years of school to catch up, But I want to stipulate that there's a difference between going to an art institute, to try and get a degree or something, and going to this is an atelier where it is only figure drawing. You don't go for a degree. You just go to get really, really, really good.
Because I mean, that's how they were back in the day, right? That's what people used to do. They be apprentices, and they go to these schools where it's just okay, we're gonna draw this figure for the next 4 months, and you're like,
Google Art Renewal Center, and you'll find an atelier somewhere near you. And what an atelier atelier, depending on how you pronounce it. But atelier it's the way they taught in the Renaissance, and it's one master that was taught by a master, and everybody in the school was taught by that teacher. And so they all teach very rigid fundamentals on drawing a figure, on anatomy, on skeletal structure, on painting, color, light, and that's it. Like there's no like fancy like here's how you use Maya, here's how you use all that stuff. That you can take this stuff and apply it to any computer program. But you can't go backwards. You can't take a computer program that you mastered and learn how to draw. No, if you learn how to draw first, you can apply it to anything. And I think that's the problem with most like art schools is that they emphasize too heavily on learning the programs and not enough on drawing fundamentals.
I'm seeing the opposite, but at least that's when I was going to school. Like the schools I was going to, it's just like they wouldn't teach anything like about the programs, and so kids would be leaving, and then they would go to they'd be like, yeah, I'm trying to get a job as a concept artist. Like, oh, do you know this program?
Okay,
that program.
That's a problem too.
Like, do you know any business at least? No. So,
I mean, I talked to when I went to the Watts school before, the guy sitting next to me on the left was like, on the first day of class, we're like outside afterwards, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I'm talking to him. I'm all like frazzled because like everybody there is amazing, and I'm like, so what do you do? And he's like, I used to own a video game company, and I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, Rockstar Games. I was like,
what?
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And he said he got tired of like hiring artists that were just okay, and then them coming to the school and getting better than him, and then he couldn't afford to keep them anymore. And so he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm gonna go retire, and I'm gonna go learn how to draw and paint and do what I want to do. And what he told me though is that they would rather hire somebody that knows how to draw and teach them a program than to hire somebody that knows the programs and try and teach them to draw.
Well, yeah, I guess you need to kind of have like you need to be able to draw. Like you need to be able to draw, paint. You need to be able to do the things that you're hired to do. Because the programs you can pick them up. Like you can go and apply all of the knowledge that you know.
Programs are constantly changing too and evolving. Like, Photoshop used to be like industry standard before, but now you got you got a Painter and you got Paint Tool Sci and all these other programs. So the programs are always going to change. I
remember asking somebody, I'm like, yeah, can I use Paint Tool Sci in the studio? They're like, what's that? Like, just let me use it. Yeah. No, that's cool. All right. It looks like we have another question. And so, okay, somebody asked me something, so I'll answer that first. Somebody asked if I still draw by hand. They said they've always seen drawing digitally, opposed to you, Will, who usually draws like traditionally. And I have a couple videos where I just drew with a pencil. And I mean I do draw sometimes. I'm in love with digital. Like it's my thing. I love exploring it and whatnot.
I've seen you like draw the rose traditionally and then scan it in and like
Cool. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I like mixing it up. But I mean, I still do draw sometimes. It's just most of the time my drawing nowadays are storyboarding, or like really bad storyboards. But I can read them, so it works. Okay. Now the question for both of us was this is from Jin Gearfield, which I've been laughing at since yesterday because it's like our field. Okay. Were your parents supportive when you told them that you wanted to draw for a living?
What was that?
Were your parents supportive when you told them that you wanted to draw for a living?
They thought I was crazy.
Pretty much the same. My parents didn't really know what to think of it. And then they also knew that I was such a jumpy person. They were just like, I kind of want to do this. Oh, no, I want to do that. I want to do this. And so, like, they just kind of waited for me to settle down, and which is where I am now. So.
Yeah, I think my parents knew it by that point that it didn't matter what they said. I was going to do what I wanted to do anyways.
Damn, rebel.
I'm just very stubborn and obstinate.
Yeah.
Don't touch the fire. Stop it. Don't. Whatever. Go ahead. Touch the fire. Hey, this hurts.
Your parents are just permanently in the other room, like. Let Will just do what he does. He'll learn.
Nobody ever claimed that I was smart. What? I am persistent.
That's what's gotten you this far, right?
Uh-huh.
So persistence is key. I've heard that for a long time, and I think it's true. I think it's very true.
Yeah.
Let's see. So very few parents want to hear their kids say, "I want to be an artist," and feel good about it. Let's see. Any more questions in here? People are just kind of talking about it. Okay. Okay. So Luke Daniels asked something. Said, Will Terrell and Siege. What do you do when you want to draw but don't know what to draw? Ooh, I don't have this problem anymore. What do you have to say?
Well, I've got two ways of approaching it, and it kind of depends on what mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
One is if I'm trying to be creative, I'll just scribble something on the page, and I'll turn that into a face or
Like
something.
Mary's Doodles.
Yeah. It's like looking at a cloud and like, oh, look, it looks like a horse, you know, or
Yeah. I heard humans have that thing, like we do that, and like naturally we see things and we try to make something from it that we know.
or like dots on the wall, you know, the way the pattern goes. You can turn, you see faces all the time. So just take that and like sketch it out and turn it into a face. So that's one way of doing it. And then the other way is if you just don't feel like creating at all, which I feel like sometimes, then just draw what's in front of you. Like draw, you know, a pair of glasses, or draw a cup, or a phone, or a TV, or people across the street. But it kind of like that. I think that helps the most if you're just like feeling numb creatively. Is just get the pen moving and and get your eye moving too, like by just drawing what you see. But those are both important, and you got to find a place to dive in somewhere, depending on where you're at on the creative spectrum.
Yeah, and I mean for me, a lot of my drawings, I haven't been doing very many drawings, I guess, in my free time, because all of my free time is now taken by doing these videos. So it's like I have like I talked about it yesterday, but some people weren't here yesterday. But yeah, I basically put everything under two big umbrellas. So it's kind of like I have like my Japan videos ideas and my art tips videos ideas, and with that I pretty much have unlimited ideas, like unlimited things, because I'm just like, I need to do a video about this. Let's do a bunch of storyboards, and now I have like 15 illustrations that I have to do. So it's kind of like I don't have a chance to get bored. And if I do get bored with those illustrations, I have another idea that's underneath the other spectrum that I can work on. And so it's just so many different ideas. And I guess for me, it's like when I'm trying to tell a story, I can't run out of ideas of what to draw because the story demands something, you know?
I have trouble keeping up with the ideas. Like, I've got a list of probably like 30 videos that I want to do.
Yeah, I have that list too.
But like some of those have been on there for like a year, and I'm like, maybe that's not working.
Yeah, I think it's good though. It's good.
Like latch onto one idea, and I don't write it down. I just create it. Like, all right, I'm just gonna process it, and then I'm gonna get it out. Because they're great ideas. It's kind of like, it's like when you get an idea for a story and then you tell a friend, you're like, oh, I got this idea for a story. Okay, so you got this character and he does this and he does this, and they're like, oh, that sounds really cool, and then you're like, yeah. And you just got the satisfaction of telling the story.
Yes, that is exactly it.
I don't need to go draw it now because I got what I was wanting.
That is a real thing too. It's actually, that's why I try to tell people, if you have a really big idea in your head, sometimes it's better to not talk about it out loud, because the moment that you do talk about it, you do get the subconscious satisfaction. Like you feel you have the same satisfaction as if you actually completed that task, and it can actually block you from doing it. That's why a lot of people who are going about doing business and starting a business or something like that, they won't talk about it to anybody. They'll just be writing, doing all their stuff, and then they'll talk about it when it's launched or when it's in its final stages, and they can't slow it down, you know, because before that, it's a subconscious thing, and I mean, the human mind is really powerful and annoying as hell. So it's kind of like
so I've only started really learning to master this in the last couple of years. Like I could have been a lot more productive 10 years ago if I just kept my mouth shut and worked and done what I was wanting to do instead of just telling everybody I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Like moving to California, I didn't tell anybody until it was almost too late.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
by the
so
way.
we're moving to California next week.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the size of the thing too, right? It's like, oh, I have a plane ticket to this place. Uh, well, if I tell people, I might not go. No, you're going.
Right, yeah.
You
I've already
got
made
the
the
ticket. Yeah.
announcements.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
now
no
that's the ball rolling, right? But if you were talking about it all the time, like, yeah, I'm gonna go to this place, you can get so hyped up about that idea of going to the place that you don't do any of the things you need to do to get there because you're like, yeah, I'm just so excited about the idea. I mean, it's the worst. I think that's one of the good things to look out for if you're gonna work with like a business partner or something like that. If they're always talking, be weary. If they're just like, yes, great, you're like, yeah, but have you worked on the project at all? I mean, I'm going to, but yo, man, it's gonna be great. Let's just talk about it. It's like, red light.
that sucks.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, you live and you learn, but it's kind of nice that we're here to tell other people about it.
Great.
All right, we have another question. We have lots of questions actually. I'm like scrolled up really high. This is from Renpa Gota. You people in your screen names, guys. I mean, I guess this could be a real name, but I don't care. Okay, this is for both of us. What was your first job, and how did you feel when working on that job? This is nice. This is nice.
Like my first job?
Yeah, what was your first job?
I worked as a sacker at a grocery store when I was 14.
Ah.
And I worked my way up, and I became like I got a job as a dairy clerk, and then I became a dairy assistant supervisor or whatever.
Nice. That's very prestigious.
And I worked a job from the age of 14 all the way up until like 26, maybe.
Wow.
And then I've been freelance ever since then. It's been about 11 years.
Wow, nice. And what about your first art job? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Let's see. It was in '98, I guess. And we had the studio. It was me and my roommate and about 5 other guys, and we were wanting to do comic books. And this guy around the corner wanted to hire us to do a logo for his business.
Yeah.
But he didn't really want us to design one. He just wanted us to copy somebody else's logo and change the color. And I remember how stressful it was to just like redraw this other drawing and then charge I think I charged like $100 for it, and then it was not like it took me like a month to do, and it was so complicated. I mean, it's stuff I could do like in 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
And then asking for money and invoice.
Yeah, that's so hard at first. Oh my god, the money talk at the beginning. You're just like, I mean, I don't really want to ask you because I love doing this, but I mean, I guess. And then like later, like at this point now, you're like, yeah, so that's gonna cost you. Like it doesn't matter. They're like, well, I have this great idea. Cool. How much money do you have?
Half up front, then I'll consider working on it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, so they're like, yeah, so we got this great idea. Yeah, cool. What's your budget for this great idea? That's what I'd like to know first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like.
That usually ends the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just like you have important things that you need to pay for. So it's like, can I eat this month? No? Okay, so I guess I can't work on your job.
Right.
Like, I need to be, like, supplemented. And I guess, okay, my first job was, I worked at McDonald's when I was 14. That was, wow, guys, you don't even, I hated that job so much. My manager was on a power trip. She was like, we had one manager, this like young Spanish girl. She was amazing. Yeah. She worked at another store, but she'd come by and she'd always like let us take bags of stuff at the end of the night. Everybody else would just like, oh no, you have to throw it in the garbage. We have to do a count. And it's like, why? It's food. Like, just give it to somebody or something. Like, let people who live around there eat it right now because you made it like an hour ago. Like, no, we have to do a garbage count. And they just shove it all in the trash and throw it away. And they made sure that nobody could get this food. And if you took any, it was stealing. I'm like, stealing from the garbage? I was like, it's going in the garbage. And so, like, we just make burgers and then just, like, hide them in our bags and stuff and just eat them later.
Nice.
We stole a lot of food from there. And, yeah, that was McDonald's. And then I ended up leaving after. I think I just stopped showing up one day.
I tried to get a job at McDonald's, and they wouldn't hire me for some reason.
They probably like, oh no, he's a bit too smart. Keep him out of here.
Oh no, man! I tried to get a job at McDonald's. I tried to get a job at Walmart. I mean, this is back in high
Oh, I
school.
did Walmart too. That messed up my knee. Yay,
Yeah.
Walmart. And then they blamed me for it and tried to con me out of money and
Oh man.
whatnot. Like one guy, he was really honest. He's just like, we get a check at the end of the year, and if we have to pay for your medical expenses, we don't get as much money as we're supposed to. I'm just like, I don't care.
Wow.
And then just like fill out the forms that the government's giving you, and you won't
What
be
was
having
your
to pay all these fees.
What was your first art job?
Um, my first art job was just a commission. I remember one of my old art friends. She was really, really nice, and I think she liked me too. And because she got really shy and awkward after this whole situation happened,
Aw.
and then she just kind of disappeared, and now she won't talk to me anymore. I'm like, oh, that's
Really?
weird. Yeah,
Why?
I don't know. We didn't have a falling out or anything. It was she started getting really awkward when we talked, and then one
Huh.
day she just cut me off completely. I'm like, cool, because we didn't have any mutual friends. There was no like drama or anything that could have gone wrong between us. It was just like, okay, whatever. So
Maybe
that
she
ended.
Maybe she had different expectations than you
Yeah,
did.
maybe yeah. She's just like, if I
You were
help
like
him with this.
oblivious. She's like crushing on you or something, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, I was oblivious at first, so that could have possibly done it. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really then. Nowadays, I'm
I
like,
was, I was oblivious to so many girls growing up. I had no idea.
yeah. I didn't know any of this stuff until I got like my ass squeezed in high school. That was weird. But yeah,
Oh,
and I was just like, oh my god, people notice me.
oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes something that overt. Yeah, I remember one time. I forgot what it was, but like some girl had said she wanted to meet me somewhere, like meet up for like I thought it was like for class, like for an assignment or something. And
Oh
I
gosh.
kind of like brushed it off, and then like 10 years later, I ran into her again. And she was telling me how much of a crush she had on me, and I was like,
He's like, oh,
oh,
oh. Oh,
ah,
man.
God, I'm so dumb.
Super KY. Can't read the air. Yeah, that happens. There's a lot of people like that. Even now, like still, like I mean, of course, there's people like that right now. But I mean, like even like at our ages, it's like there's lots of people that still they just the situation arises and they're just not used to it, so they don't know what to do, and they haven't like studied any sort of like body language or any of that kind of stuff. Like
Right.
I made an effort at one point because I came back when I came back to Toronto, I was depressed and I hadn't talked to people. I was just kind of like I wasn't an introvert by nature because I mean you can't really just be like I'm an introvert today, like you know it's like you just
Yeah.
are what you are, although it changes. But like I was very quiet, I was very shy, and I didn't know what to do. And this was like maybe 3 years ago,
Oh,
and I just yeah, and I was super shy. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't like
how old are you? You're 26?
I'm 27. Yeah.
27. Okay.
Yeah, and I was just really shy. I couldn't talk to girls at all. It was just really bad. And then I was just like, all right, time to study up. And so I just started like first I started off with like that regular pickup stuff, but I
Yeah.
I was reading it because I heard that you could use it to help with making friends. And I was like,
Right.
cool, that's all I want to do. I don't care. And I didn't know much about the whole psychology side of it. Once I started reading into it, I was just like, oh, this is really cool. And then I started looking deeper. Then I started reading the real stuff, you know? Because
Yeah.
it was kind of like this was kind of like you know the dummy's guide to psychology.
Right.
And then yeah, I jumped into it, and then like I was able to express myself, and I learned how to have confidence in myself, and to the point
Oh, that's
that
good.
be how I am today, where I'm not scared of anything anymore.
I'm halfway tempted to start like what do you call it? Like a romance mentoring program or something.
Hey.
I've helped a lot of guys, but I don't want to help guys get hook up. I don't want that at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
But I'd like to help them become the guys that they will, that will attract the women they want to marry. You know,
yeah.
I like doing that.
understand.
Like I've had
It-
several friends meet and fall in love and get married, and where they went from never having a date before.
Isn't it amazing? I love it.
Yeah, all it takes is just like changing the way you look at it and changing the way you carry yourself and present
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And
A lot
even
of things aren't as hard as you think they are, and people
No.
are just as scared as you are in a lot of situations. So
one example cracks me up still thinking about it. Like this guy, he was a friend of mine, and he was gonna ask this girl out, and he didn't ask her out. He said, "You want to go see this movie next week?" And
Oh,
she's
come
like,
on.
"Yeah, that sounds good." So they're going to go to this movie, and he was notorious for like having friends with girls that would like they'd let him pay for everything, and go on date, and then at the end of the day, they're like, no, we're just friends.
Yeah, because
so
they don't owe you, so
right. He really liked this girl, and he asked her out, and I said, so did you ask her on a date? And he said, yeah, we're going to a movie. I said, no. Did you ask her on a date? And he said, yeah, we're going to a movie. And I said, no, literally. Did you say, would you like to go on a date with me? He said, no. And I said, we need to email her right now.
You need to change her.
You're looking forward to this date on Thursday. And he's like, really? Why? And I said, trust me. And he said he emailed her, and she responded and said, yes, I'm really looking forward to this date. And she told him, like on the second or third date, that she had no idea it was a date until he emailed her.
Yeah, that always happens.
He thought that they were just going to be friends. And
yeah.
now they're married.
Wow, well, that's a good ending to that story. Damn.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I was like, my approach to make it easier on myself was that every time I went out with somebody, the thing that I would do is I would switch it. Like, I'd be like, I would make sure that all my intentions were known at the beginning. I'm just like, hey, this is how I am. This is what I want. I don't want to just be friends, right? It's all out in the open right from the gate. And I would say stuff, like openly say stuff, because I figured the direct approach works better for me because I'm loud. And then when I was just like, all right, let's go out. And I'm just like, it's a date, but it's not a date. It's a chill session. We're just going to hang out. I'm just like, don't dress up. Don't dress nice. Don't expect anything. Just show up comfortably. And then we'd meet up somewhere, and I'd be like, okay, so there's no plan today. Let's do something. And we just run off, and we go and we find stuff in the city, like in Toronto. So I mean, I remember with my girlfriend now, it's like we went and we found like a skating rink, and we went skating, and she was terrible, and it was amazing because I had to catch her all the time. Plus one.
Ice skating.
Huh?
Skating or ice skating?
It was ice skating.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was falling. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll teach you too.
No. I'm like 260 pounds, man. Like I break things.
Oh gosh.
It's completely off. I went to the Charles Schulz Museum in San Francisco, and I was talking to the ladies there, and they really liked me and talked to my sister, and they gave us free tickets to go to the Peanuts ice skating rink where like Charles Schulz used to ice skate and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we went there, put on my skates. Within 3 seconds, flat on my ass.
Oh no!
I swear to God, like 10 people come running up, like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, do we need to call an ambulance?" I was like,
was it your first time skating?
Huh?
Was it your first time on skates, or?
No, I used to skate when I was like in high school and stuff, but that was 100 pounds ago. Yeah,
I never lost it, thankfully. I kind of like I got back on the ice. I'm like, hey, all right, hey.
So back to your story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just we walked, we held hands, and we went places. And, like, so I did a lot of like, I was like, here, my intentions are known, and then like, it was all really cute. We found places to go, we talked, and just like, it was just very open and but like it was so relaxed in the beginning because I feel like a lot of dates are interview sessions, at least these days.
Oh yeah.
So,
it's the checklist, man. Like the checklist kills any type of romance. Like if you've got, and I learned this like the hard way. Like I realized I had this long checklist. Like okay, is she crazy? Check. Does she look like she's got a boyfriend, or is she?
Assuming things. Yeah, of course.
You have like a whole, crazy family. Like I'd go through like this whole list of things, and if she's attractive or whatever. And by the time I got to the list, she's already like walked away.
Yeah. And the best part about it too.
Even worse is if she meets all my criteria and she's still there, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're the one. That's the creepiest feeling in the entire.
Especially when she's just like, I don't actually like you like that. And you're like, oh. Yeah, because it's like you almost forget that it's two, right? It takes two.
Right. Well, and then what's an even worse feeling is when you meet a girl and she has her checklist and she checks off all of her boxes and she's like, okay, you're the one. And you're just like, ugh.
Have you found? I found
list.
this is the one thing that I found too. Is just like the person that like, because like my girlfriend now, who's my final girlfriend, and I always keep saying that, like, she is nothing like what I expected I would be with or who I would be attracted to. And I found it with a lot of my friends. They're like, yeah. So the girl I'm with now, or the guy I'm with now, I thought I would hate this person because they're not. This is not part of my criteria of things that I would normally choose. I'm just like, yeah, welcome to life.
My wife and I were pretty far apart, like on a lot of things. I mean, we have a lot in common, but like, yeah, we're complete opposites in other areas in a good way.
Yeah, that's good though. It's good. And lonely tofu art. If I learn to be like Psycho, will I be able to pick up the girls? Psycho's a cool guy. Psycho's fantastic. Yeah, Psycho's nice and muscular and stuff too. So it's like, yeah, if you want to use your body. No. Yeah. If you
I mean, I can't wait until I meet the woman that Psycho ends up with. She's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be fantastic. She's gonna be gonna be a Chinese woman, and her accent is gonna be just like the one that he does in all of the streams.
That would be amazing. Oh man.
You're gonna find out he was good about it all of this time. It's gonna be like stereotypically exactly like his accent.
That would be awesome.
Oh my god. It's so good. It's gonna imitate his voice perfectly, and they're just gonna switch during streams. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you got to remember is you don't have to be good at this. You just have to get it right once.
Yeah, it needs to be
find the right one once.
Exactly.
You got to be the right one once, you know.
Yeah. I think too. Another thing too is like you can't. Like, there's a whole thing. People, yeah, you should just like settle because you might not get anything better. No. Like if it comes down to like living your life with somebody, it's like you kind of like. You get to know them, whatever, everything goes really well with them and everything. But while you're in the dating period of your relationship, it's like, pay attention to things. If things are destructive, remember, you can get out.
Oh, yeah.
You need to. You can get out because people are kind of like, I'll never be able to get a girl again. And they just hang on. And then they end up getting abused. I mean, I see people that are actually physically abused by their partners and stuff, like fist fights.
Yeah.
In a relationship, like, how are you guys in a fist fight, and why are you engaged? It's like, what's going on?
My wife and I never fight. I mean, usually, because we didn't meet until I was like 33, I guess, and by then I realized like I don't blame anybody else for my problems. If I'm not happy or if I'm miserable, then I'm the reason for it. Like I got to do something about it, and so I don't blame her or anybody else for my misery, my problems. And so like if things aren't like clicking, we can talk it out because we're not there to place blame on anybody else, which is good. Where I had previous relationships where I blamed them for me being miserable or not making me happy enough or whatever.
Actually, I think that was actually the one thing that I think made it so I found the girl that I'm with now. It's just the fact that I realized that I was unhappy, and I went forward and I fixed that myself. And then she came into my life when I was just like, I'm happy with myself. I feel good about myself. And then all of a sudden she's just like, hey, I'm here. And like, not again, exactly we're the same as you. We don't fight.
Yeah, it's exactly like that with Amber. Like I had to become the person that she would be attracted to, not meet her and hope that she'll fix me. That doesn't work. Like you got to fix yourself. You got to do the you got to become the person you want to be, and that'll attract the person you want to be with.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are kind of in like they are relying on the other person a lot, and it actually does end up because one person ends up taking a bit too much of the weight, and the other person stops taking as much, and then once that balance is off, then things fall into chaos. I think life is like, I mean, the nature shows us itself that life is all about balance. It's always about balance. So you throw that off a little bit, and things start getting rocky, and the more it goes off. It's just it all crumbles to the ground.
I always had a bad habit of getting in relationships that where I was rescuing people or like
yes, me too.
And that's not good for them. It's not good for me.
Yeah,
it's not a recipe for happiness. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So do we have any more questions?
Yeah, let's see, because people are kind of talking about what we're talking about. Yeah. Um, what? Psych made a video on how Cypher picks up girls in one of Cypher's live streams. That sounds hilarious. Six is rude. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah. Are there any more questions? Weird questions in comments. We've been talking about stuff for so long. Yeah. Everybody's just in on our conversation right now here. Oh, okay. Here we go. Stensing asked something. Um. Okay. Okay. So this is an art question. Thanks, Stensing. Okay. Both of you are doing freelancing right now. Do you get most clients internationally or within your country? How much do you think location matters for freelancing? Does that make
It
any
doesn't
sense?
matter anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. Like the internet.
Yeah.
Welcome to the future.
I actually don't. I'm not doing freelance right now. I've been.
No. Oh yeah, because you moved and you. Yeah.
I've been taking freelance out of the equation for the last like year and trying to replace it with like YouTube and Patreon and whatnot.
Nice.
I'm
That's
almost to the point where I can survive.
Yes, that's great. That's great to hear. I'm on my journey towards that right now. That's what I'm trying to get. Because I love this. Like this is like I'm finally happy doing something. I'm just like I'm not lonely anymore.
It feels like I can actually make people's lives better now instead of just doing jobs that I'm not really happy with.
Yeah, it's like you get stuff and you're like, okay, I need to do this because I need to eat. So it's just like you get the job, but you're not emotionally connected to it. Every once in a while, you do get something. You meet an awesome client or whatnot, right? So I mean, there's nothing against the clients, but you can't be excited about every project that you do. But when you're doing something that you're in complete control of, like your YouTube, where you're building a family, it's just like you are in control of your happiness on something like this, and I love it. I guess that's the difference between freelancers and entrepreneurs as well, because entrepreneurs are on top of their game, whereas freelancers, we're on our own. We are our boss, but we get outside bosses. we work on their projects, contract to contract.
There's this book that I read a long time ago, and it really inspired me to like change my life. It's a book called The Millionaire Course by Mark Allen. And he's like this old hippie guy. If you've ever read any like self-help book in the last 30 years from like Wayne Dyer or Deepak Chopra or whatever, this is the guy that published their books.
Oh, I see.
But he used to be homeless and like broke.
Damn.
But he decided one day, he was like, you know what? I want to become a millionaire, and so he just.
I want to be a millionaire today. Okay.
But he wanted to do it. He's like, I want to become a millionaire, but I want to do it while making the world better, and I want to do it by, helping other people live up to their potential. So he started publishing all these books from really amazing people that make people's lives better. But he talks about his daily life now, and his whole life is like he wakes up when he's done sleeping. And he takes a leisurely stroll through the park, which is his backyard, and then he lays on the couch and he just lays there for an hour or two just thinking about the one thing he can do today that will make $1 million.
Wow.
And so, like, he doesn't do anything else. I mean, he's got, like, occasionally he's got emails and phone calls he's got to respond to, but he's got people that work for him that handle most of the day-to-day business. So his job is just to think about what's the one thing he can do to get the most value out of the next year, out of the next week, out of the next month. And so he's very mindful about his life, where most of us are just constantly reacting to everything that comes at us.
Yeah,
I got bills to pay. I need to go find this job, or I got this meeting. I got to do this, and constantly just reacting.
And for the longest time too, it was glorified to be grinding extremely hard all the time. Like people were proud of the fact that they didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days. It's crazy.
I mean, as an artist, you do have to grind. It takes a while to put content out there.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of like you still have to be mindful of your health, because it's just like, I mean, I know firsthand, getting sick is kind of telling me, it's just like, be mindful of your life. Like you can't just sit around eating stupid stuff and not moving ever, not getting outside, not breathing fresh air. It's like your body is not going to keep up with you for that much longer,
Yeah. So that's why I've kind of farmed out a lot of my freelance work because that's not being mindful. It's just constantly taking jobs that, it's like filling a void that always needs to be filled.
Mm.
Where, like, creating a video that will make people's lives better, like, I sit and think about a video for 2 or 3 weeks before I actually make it.
Oh, wow.
And then, when I actually do make it, it's got a lot of value to it. And so I'm being mindful about that process. And then now I'm thinking about, like, writing books on basically doing the same thing, but more intensively. And so I'm not just trying to fill this void with jobs and paychecks.
Nice.
I feel the same way with, like, working an hourly job. Like, that's why I quit doing hourly jobs.
I
Like,
can't do that.
I had a friend recently tell me he got a job for like $14 an hour or $15 an hour, and I was like, and he was really excited about it. He's like, "This is great, man! $15 an hour," and I was like, "Wait, what is that? How much? What does that add up to?" It's like 15 times 40. I don't know, $600 a week or something like that. I was like, that's like one illustration. I could do that in an afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So selling your time on an hourly rate doesn't make sense to me anymore. But it does, and I've worked really hard so that I don't have to work an hourly rate as much anymore. I mean, I do sometimes, but for the most part, I'm. Anyways, I feel like I'm wandering.
No, I like this. It's good. I mean, because it's cool to hear it from you because it's kind of like you're in like a future position of where I want to be, where I want to get to. Like I want to get to your stage and then keep going. Of course.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not rolling in cash at all. Like I'm just getting one.
Yeah.
I'm living on savings.
It's just. I mean, I've always felt like for me, my fear is like being unhappy with my fear. It's just like because I saw people with a lot of money who were miserable.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I grew up in an area like my parents worked really hard. They got us into a nice area, and even there, I saw people who were rich and miserable, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? And so it's just like, okay, so even if I have a lot of money, I can still hate my life. So what else is there to go for? I'm like, I need something more. I need something to be happy about. And so it's like I got to a position where it's just like, all I want is comfort. I don't want an annoying roommate yelling and acting like a psychopath all the time. I don't want to be on the street, right? It's just like I want a roof. I want some nice peace and quiet. I want to be able to do this, and that's. I mean, and I want enough money to be able to buy food and go places sometimes. But even if I can replace the money value of like going somewhere with actually just getting a trip there, right? So it's kind of like. My cousin, he's an entrepreneur, and he always talks about this kind of stuff. He does business talks where he goes overseas and he does a talk and he tells people how to run their business and how to get the most out of their business. And so what he actually does is he contact him like, yeah, we have a seminar here. Can you please come and do the seminar? He's like, okay, cool. So you're flying me there, me and my wife. You're paying for food, you're paying for travel, you're paying for expenses, and he's like, oh wait, where is it? And if it's a place he's been, he won't go again. He goes to always new places, and and they're not paying him they'll pay him like $500 or to $1,000 or $3,000 for the seminar itself, but they sometimes give him stuff instead to make up for it, right? Because he doesn't need to, instead of him paying for the flight, they pay for the flight, so they're paying him in a flight, they're paying him with a gift or something like that, right? Yeah. And so it's kind of like. If I were able to get food and a roof, it's like I'd be okay. I don't need the cash for that, right? If I'm able to fly somewhere, I'm okay with not having that much money because I'm still able to travel and do the things that I want to do. It's not about the number itself.
It's fine. It's hard finding the balance between like where you should be thinking, because like what happens once you get that? What happens when you get a house over your head and you get what you were just talking about? Like what's the next thing? And if you put your mind on what the long-term goal looks like, those things like say you've already got the house, you've already got the income, you've already got the wife, the kids, and so what is it 20 years from now? What is that goal? But if you list those goals out, the lifelong goals, some of those you can actually like start checking off now. But if you wait 20 years to start working on them, you're gonna miss the goal. Yeah. And so
I totally agree with that.
It helps thinking about the long term, but you can't live there. And that I've always struggled with that. Like, how much should I like envision the life I want to live versus the life I'm living now? And finding that right balance is very tricky. But I also wanted to say, like, if you're working a job, that's $15 an hour, or, and you're not really happy with it, like, I don't want to knock working a job, because it's a very important time to go through in your life. Like, and I suggest, if you work an hourly job, don't resent it. Like, try and find a job where it will add extra benefit to your life and to other people's lives. Like, you can have a choice about where you make $15 an hour. And sometimes that, like, I worked at Kinko's for a long time, or FedEx office, and it didn't pay great, but I got insurance. But more importantly, I got free printing for all my comic books, and they taught me how to use Photoshop, and they taught me how to use Illustrator, and so I got all these other benefits. So, but I could have had that. I think I was making like $12 an hour then. It was like 10 years ago at that job, and I could have made $12 an hour at another place, or I could have made even $15 an hour at another place. But the benefit I got from being at FedEx office or Kinko's doing my comic book stuff far outweighed all the other stuff, especially since I could choose my own schedule. So there's, while you're in that season of working a job and working for a paycheck, it's not a bad place to be. Just choose your circumstances as best as you can so you get the most possible benefit of it, but also envision moving towards something where you can leave the hourly wage behind.
I agree with that.
The ideal situation for me is, like, I want to have, like, passive incomes coming from, like,
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I agree completely, because I had the same thing. Like, my final part-time job before I started just doing freelance stuff, and before the YouTube thing, was I worked as a ski instructor, and I didn't even know how to ski. I just kind of got myself in that position. It's a funny story, but I learned how to ski really fast by manipulating my own mind, and it was ridiculous. But yeah, I became a ski instructor for little kids, and I realized, oh wow, I really love kids. Like, I love working with children. I love helping them out. I love the best part about it was that they were so receptive to what I had to say.
Oh yeah.
They were so receptive, and so I could give them a pep talk, and they would listen to it because they had no preconceptions. Like, oh, well, I've experienced this before. I'm better than you. They actually listened, and I was like, yeah, I love you kids. And then, like, it was just amazing to be able to make stupid, silly jokes with them, play around and whatnot, and just build up this relationship with these little children. And I was just like, wow. And I learned stuff that I'm actually using right now, and I was benefiting from it. Right, and then I was able to be on a team too with people that I actually cared about for the first time in my life, because all my other coworkers, I can't remember who most of them were, and I don't care about them at all. But like, this team was like a family, right? And I got that vibe too. I got this like a family outside of my family vibe from people, and it was kind of like I learned a lot from that, and I'm kind of like I'm putting that forward. So it was kind of like I picked a situation that I was in, like what you were saying, where I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I didn't want to stay as a skiing instructor for the rest of my life. Yeah. But I was still happy, and I was able to take stuff from that situation. So.
Well, it's like Steve Jobs. When he was in college, he took all these classes that had nothing to do with what he ended up doing. In fact, I think he dropped out of the school he was going to. But like one of the classes he took was typesetting, like doing hand lettering traditionally. Oh, wow. And because of that class, and it was a throwaway class. Like, they didn't even expect him to take it for his degree, and he ended up dropping out anyways. But everything he learned about typography, he put into designing word processing systems for computers, which never existed beforehand. And his love for beautiful typography is what gave us our typography we have for computers now. And it was something that completely, so like your situation of working as a ski instructor for these kids informs the rest of your life for everything else you do, even though it was just like the short season. And we all go through that. We all have these jobs that like seem throwaway and inconsequential now. Even working at McDonald's, I'm sure, had some sort of effect. It had planted some sort of seed.
Show me what I didn't want to do.
No, I mean, something that you got from being there is something you did in order to succeed down the road, or something that you needed to connect with people in your videos or in whatever it is that you end up doing. Like, I believe that every job we have is like something it's important. I saw a question from Pitt Gone,
Okay, let's hear this.
and they were mentioning it's possible. Is it possible to for rich people to be happy? And I know quite a few happy rich people.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
also
yeah.
quite a few miserable rich people.
Yep.
And I'll say the difference that I've seen between the two, the happy ones are their identity is not tied up in money. The money just allows them to do other things, and it's interesting. The more I hang out with, like, because I have a friend that he used to play. He was like a running back in the NFL, and he's like
Wow.
doing really well.
A little bit.
And I've got other friends that have like multi-million-dollar businesses, and and it's weird getting around those guys and hearing them talk and think about their lives and think about their world versus the people I grew up with, including myself, where you're just working for a paycheck and everything is just immediate. And you're constantly reacting to everything in life. Mm-hmm. Where the guys that have so much money that they're not worried about money anymore are thinking about legacy. They're thinking, like, their mind is just constantly thinking about, how can I do something that will matter for the rest of eternity, or at least for my grandkids. They'll remember it, and that's the difference I see usually.
I guess you have to at that point.
Well, it's a logical extension where I think the people that are miserable when they're rich are their identities are tied up in money and they need more of it. They need more things. They need more experiences.
I guess because they got up there because that's what they were chasing. They were chasing money from the beginning, and then they got it, and it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do now? I guess I just gain more money. It's like you don't really have anything more. Where I guess like for some people, I guess the happier people, it's kind of like they got to that position because of the things they were doing, and their focus was on that thing rather than on the money result from it.
Yeah. But I think it's just kind of like people that are really good at video games. It's a completely different thing, but like they're good at leveling up their characters to the point where like they've mastered it. They know how to do it in their sleep. But are they really having fun at the end? They're just I've got to check off all of these boxes now because I'm so good at this. Like they've got a level 100 character on WoW, or I guess 80. I don't know. I've never played WoW. So, but they've leveled all the way up, and they've got all these other characters to level up, and they're mastered at it, and they're just doing it because there's no challenge anymore. And I think the people that are really good at making money, that's what it is, but they're not good at other areas of their life, so they just keep focusing on the one thing that they're good at.
That was a good analogy using WoW. That like probably related to a lot of people in the chat.
Probably,
yeah. I played WoW. That was a good time in my life.
He says, asks how much I can bench. I don't know. I can bench a lot. I'm actually very strong, even though I'm a big guy. It's a lot of muscle. Any other questions? Let's see.
I can bench my cell phone. That's about it. That's it. I lift my bike on occasion. That's it.
What's my favorite type of cheese? I actually don't eat cheese anymore.
Yeah, I'm like.
I love feta cheese. I love feta cheese in omelets and salads and stuff. What about you?
I'm lactose intolerant. So yeah, I mean I still eat cheese sometimes, which is terrible. It's a bad idea. Do not do that. But yeah, don't do it. But cheddar's amazing.
I think there's another question. Oh, Keza Design had a question.
What's up, Keza?
I believe Will used to swap sketches of people for drinks at a bar or something. Ask him for tips and stories. Yeah, I used to work for tips at restaurants. Like I started off that way. Like I would just we'd have these sketch nights, and there'd be a bunch of artists that get together and sketch. And I'd have like drunk cowboys or drunk college kids come up like, "Oh, that's really cool. I'll buy you a beer if you draw my girlfriend. Draw her with bigger boobs."
Nice. They can just call it off later. Yeah, that's the alcohol speaking, honey.
Right. Sorry, that's really loud. But that's kind of how it started. I'd start like they'd buy me pictures of beer, and I'd usually be so busy drawing that I wouldn't get to drink. Like my ex-girlfriend, she would be sloshed by the end of the night because she's gone through like 2 pitchers of beer by herself. I And I didn't have a single drink because I'm too busy sketching.
That's awesome. Actually, it didn't happen to me in the drawing sense. I was at a place with my buddy, and we started dancing because we dance, right? Like
Nice.
we pop and we do house stuff like that, right? And so we were in there, we're popping, and they had a DJ, and he was dope, and we were like, yeah, whatever. And then like we pretty much started a party. And people saw the party from outside, so they kept on coming in. And so then, and you know, people come in and out of courtesy, right? They buy a drink or they buy some food or whatever, right? And so the night they made so much money that night that they started just feeding us alcohol. And like every single time that we came in, they would announce, like the DJ would announce us as we walked into the door, and then they would just give us alcohol, free alcohol. And like anybody who we were with would get free alcohol. So we're like, yeah! So it was awesome for the
I had quite a bit of free alcohol on my day. No.
If I was drunk, I wasn't paying for it.
But then eventually I started just doing it on purpose, and I'd talk to the management at like a restaurant and say, can I come in for a couple hours and just work on tips? And I'd go table to table, and it would take me like 2 minutes to do a quick 5x7 character sketch. Wow. And they'd pay me whatever they think it's worth, and some people would donate like $1, $5, $40.
That's awesome.
$50 is the most tip I had on just one of those little sketches, and they were really drunk. But
when I was working at the Bay, the Hudson Bay Company here. Yeah, I got a $50 tip from an old woman because I helped her carry something to her car. She just was like, "Oh, thank you," and she shook my hand, and she had money in it. I'm just like, and she's like, "Shh." I'm just like, okay. And then one guy gave me a pizza and a beer. Like, no, not a beer. He gave me a pack of beer. It was like a 6-pack of beer and a full pizza.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
From
the Bay.
You're like, thanks.
I'm just like, hey, cool, I work customer service. What are you doing? He's just like, yeah, just put it in your car real quick, whatever. It's like, you know, I'm going to a party.
Motorcycles driving by all the time. I learned a lot from working on tips. Like, that's when I started realizing, like, there's a difference. Like, everybody has a different value of money. Like, some people would give me $1, and that was a lot of money to them. Mm-hmm. And I appreciated that as much as somebody that would give me like $100, you know, for something, because they like, for some people $100 is like not even 1% of a day's paycheck.
Yeah, they made it in like 2 minutes. Like,
and it's just like a different paradigm. And I started realizing that like some people just had no problem shelling out a ton of money. That's why when artists are trying to decide like what should they charge for their illustrations, charge what you're worth. Like, don't worry about somebody complaining about you being too expensive, because that's not your client. That's somebody else's client that doesn't think they're worth as much as you are.
Yeah, very true. Because I remember I got it from my cousin. He would always help people. Like, if somebody was like needed money or needed food or something, he'd always kind of go out of his way to help them and stuff. And I always wondered why. And then I was sitting in the car with him one day, and his phone rang, and it was like 11 a.m. and his phone went, and I'm just like, oh, what was that? He looks at it, he's just like, oh yeah, I made $1,000. I'm like, what? I'm like, he's like, every time you hear that, I'm making around $1,000 to $2,000. And
I'm
what? Like, I don't know, one of his businesses. It was all residual cash, and so throughout the day, his phone would just be like, ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Like, he didn't even check it anymore. It's just, he knew, because it was just coming in from all of the different businesses that he was running, right? I mean, because it was his hobby. He loved doing it since he was young, different business. So to him, $1, literally $1, is like nothing, but he values it. Like, he understands the importance of that dollar and the importance of how it works for other people, and so he would do things worth high value for people, right? And he'd also, like for me as family, he'd always teach me the value of that $1, right? So he wouldn't spoil me. He wouldn't be like, yeah, here's $1 billion, whatever. He was just like, no, you're gonna work. You're gonna work for this. So
yeah. I remember thinking $100 was a lot, and I remember thinking $1,000 was a lot. And
I still do think $1,000 is a lot.
Yeah. But I could go make $1,000 today if I needed to. You know,
okay. Well, it looks like I'm moving to where you are, and we're gonna hang out.
It's not a regular thing, but if I needed to, I could go make $1,000. Like when I was working on tips, you know, I'd make $200 to $400 in a couple hours just working on tips.
Wow. Okay,
And
we're gonna have a discussion about this chat.
have you ever tried working on tips? It's pretty easy.
No, I don't even know what that actually means. Like, so wait, you went into a restaurant or something, and you talked to management, and then you go from table to table and draw people?
Yeah, it was just like a little 5x7 clipboard, and I had like an electrician's bag with like Copic markers in it, and I just do a quick sketch, and you have to be quick, and what they're paying for is the entertainment. They're not paying for the drawing, so you've got to be entertaining, but you got to be really quick because they don't want you to keep people at the table. But if you can make one table laugh, then the next table will want whatever they just bought, and then the next table.
So I guess it helps that you're such a jolly person.
Yeah, well, it kind of like that's where it came from. Is like I just like making people laugh and happy.
Yeah.
And it just happens that people respond to that.
That's amazing.
But yeah, and you can do that at like I did that at like 5 or 6 different restaurants, and I've stopped doing that, and because now I'm focusing on doing YouTube and these other things. But yeah, I mean it's all relative. Yeah, oh look, I have $1,000 now. Yep, looks like it. I mean I don't want to sound like it's just easy. I just know that I can go do it. But now to me like $10,000 seems challenging. Like I've made $10,000 from one job before, but that wasn't a regular thing. And
closing my laptop.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But I remember when I first started doing freelance illustration, $1,000 job was just like I don't think I can do that. That's too much. Like, and then once I got my first one, it's like I got to make this the most amazing thing I've ever done.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Yeah.
But then after 10 or 20 of those, you're kind of like, okay.
You're like, because it just then after a while it starts becoming a number, and also it's like you put the value to what like you start timing it, and you start like really thinking about what this is doing and how much it's helping you in the long run, right?
Yeah.
It's like I can pay for this now, I can pay for that. This is what I got to get out of the way. I got these bills to pay for. It's like it's not even like the money anymore. It's just like these are the responsibilities that I have. This is how much time I'm putting to this job. I'm not taking other jobs during the time that I'm working on it. It's like it's less about the glory, because I think when you live at home and you're with your parents and stuff like that, and you just started working freelance, every single dollar you make is going to you, and you're just like, yeah, this is amazing. I have all this money. I can do all of these cool things. Once you're on your own and you're doing this, and it's like it's your living, it's your livelihood, then suddenly you're just like, okay, this is going to this is going to that. You're already thinking about where your money's going to be spread out when you get it.
Yeah.
So
but and I think that it's important to like. So like I try and save a portion of everything that I make for savings, and I try and save a portion for just giving away, like for blessing other people. And it does this weird thing to your mindset where like I feel like I have money now, where I've got enough to just give it away, and I've got enough to save it. Don't ask me to give you money because I won't. I'm not talking to you. I'm just like audience in general. It's not like that. It's like if I see somebody that needs help, I will go help them, and I usually try and do it without them knowing. You know, because it's not about me. Like I just feel like that's what we're here for, is to not just be selfish with what we do. But it also changes your whole relationship with money, where it's not like money doesn't equal paying bills to me anymore. Money equals doing things. It means it equals freedom to like help others, freedom to live the life I want to live, freedom to write my own schedule, freedom to travel. That's what it is.
That's a dream for
now,
me too.
Where I was a slave to it before, where I needed to pay this bill, I needed to pay this bill, I needed to pay this bill, and
I mean I'm kind of in that position right now, where it's just like I got to pay for all this stuff and behind on stuff, and it's just like my dream is to be free. Like that's been my ultimate goal.
You want to start getting out of that. Start saving 10% of everything you make just for savings. You don't touch it. That'll change. I mean, I learned that with my wife. I mean, she is so good at saving money, and it's
my
just
girlfriend's amazing with saving money. So it's like, yay! Like, someone competent in my life.
I'd never experienced that before of how much peace of mind you get from having several $1,000s just saved in case of an emergency. And we've had to use it several times and then build it back up. Where before it was just like, you know, I need to do this job really quick so I can pay this bill, you know, or I had this tragedy come up and I need to take care of this and I need to borrow money, you know, God forbid. And it's just like it changes your whole mentality and it takes a lot of the stress off of being a freelancer or just living in general when you've got enough saved and you've got money just to give and contribute to other people's lives.
Yeah,
it makes a big difference.
Yeah, this is a very it's very in depth for like, you know, all the people that are watching us right now. It's like they're at like the beginnings of their careers and stuff like that. Some people are like freelancing, but I think it's a good thing for everybody to hear. Like this conversation is because we don't, a lot of people don't touch on it really. Like this is yeah. Thank you for sharing this. It's
well,
really
I'm still learning too. Like
that's life.
Yeah, you're never gonna stop, you know. And I'm learning from. Because I have my own limitations that I'm running up against. Like I should have done. I meant to do like a Kickstarter this summer for like doing an art book, and I kept running up to like emotional roadblocks, like why didn't I do it, and so on. And but yeah, and I ran into an artist like I really admire this weekend at Comic-Con, and he's like, "So you're gonna do an art book?" Like, tell me on it. Because I bought a tablet for CTN this year, and I was planning to have this art book for the convention. And he's like, "So are you going to do it?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have, you know, I don't have enough to print like a whole book, and I don't have time to do a Kickstarter, and these are all excuses." And he's like, "I know." And he basically flat out said, like, "Are you in or are you out? Like, are you in this to win it, or are you just playing around? Like, what are you going to decide?" And so I still have my own issues, my own insecurities, and I'm working on them. And that's
Will is human, and so am I. We're all human here. We're all in the same thing together. We just have different levels of issues and different things that we're going through. But you know, that's kind of, and it's good. It's good to know. It's good to know because I think everybody has heroes, and we're all like we all look up to them as if they're flawless at times. And it's just like it's kind of nice to know. Like it's nice to see. Oh, they're grounded. Like this is a real human being. They're still going through stuff, right? Still have insecurities. Yeah. This is good. This is good. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys in the chat room are enjoying this conversation. It got real. My chat is updating right now. It's going crazy. Yeah. Yeah, okay, people are answering questions that I asked you and stuff. Yeah, the chat just blew up just for a second there. Updated like crazy. Thanks, Google. Integration is fantastic. It's terrible. Can't even see all the comments. Yeah, most people are just talking about what we're talking about. This is great. Let's see if I can find any questions in here. Because we took one question and we turned it into a thing. Which is a skill, by the way.
I got to meet Jazza last week.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. How was that?
Do any of y'all watch Jazza or draw with Jazza?
I watched his animation stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I learned.
It's cool. He had like a huge turnout in LA. It was like
how many people showed up?
He said 80. When I was there, because I got there a little bit late, he said there was a bunch that came and left early on.
Yeah.
When I got there was about 50 or 60. It was a good crowd though, and they were.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think when you think about it in like a real sense, you're just like, hey, I'm a guy that makes videos on the internet, and you go to a location and you're like, hey, I'm gonna be here, and like 80 people show up to see you. That's mind blowing.
I was surprised when 10 people came to see me at my thing. Can't imagine 80. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, like I don't expect anybody to recognize me outside. I don't expect anybody to know who I am and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I mean, I'm surprised right now, kind of, but like my first live stream, I had like 80 viewers watching my live stream. And that blew my mind. I'm like, 80 people actually want to hear me talk live? What? That doesn't make any sense.
Awesome.
Right? And right now, you know, we have 80 people right now. So that's awesome too. 80 people are here.
That's cool.
Yeah. So how was the hangout with Jazza? Did you what did you guys do during that? Is it just
well, I
meet and greet?
met a lot of people. I mean, there's quite a few there that watch my channel too. So I got to meet a lot of people, check out their sketchbooks. I drew some sketches for people, and I mean, he had a line the whole time of people just coming up and shaking his hand, getting pictures with him.
That's crazy. With lots of hugs and groping. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to the future when I can meet people. I met one of my subscribers, and it was really weird because because we were in the line for a Keri Pamu Pamu concert, and I didn't know where she was, and she just took a picture and sent it to me on my phone of me standing in the line. I'm like, ew.
That's awesome.
It was so creepy, and then after, just like, oh, I know where you are. I could find out where she was from the photo. I felt like a detective. But yeah, so that's what happened when I met her, and she was taller than me. She's only like 17.
That's funny.
Like, oh, cool. Hi, nice to meet you.
It's so weird going to like a convention because this only started. I guess I went to a show in San Antonio in June of last year, and it was the first time where I was like walking around a convention and people recognized me. I was like they would like watch me walk past, and I was like, what was that?
Yeah, that's so weird.
And it's kind of like throwing me off, like especially at CTN last year. There was a bunch of people. Like I was getting stopped like every 5 or 10 feet in the hall from people like, "Hey, are you Will?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then like after a half a day of this, it started like going to my head where I'm like, "Is that person looking at me?" Like,
next day you're walking, "Hey, I'm Will Terrell."
You might know me. And then I kept trying to explain it to Amber because she wasn't around for most of the afternoon or most of the morning, and I was like, "So I keep meeting people in the hall," and she's like, sure, that's great." She just didn't believe me at all. And then all my friends that were there like had tables and stuff. They're like, I think this YouTube thing is going to your head. Like you keep saying famous and meeting people, and I was like, "No, seriously, guys, seriously." I met persons, human beings that knew who I was.
Oh, it's so perfect. That's so funny that nobody saw it. It's just
Yeah. I mean, eventually they did. The best, like, I was going. Amber and I were like walking, or I guess we had bought badges for the VIP badges because you can cut in front of the line, so it's like worth the extra money to buy those.
Yeah.
But they also have like a lounge where all the guests go, and you can get into that. So we're sitting in there, and like all of these girls, there's like 7 girls come in. They're like, "Woo!" They're like giving me hugs, and then my wife comes in like right then. And I was like, "See, I told you."
Who's in there? They're famous. Remember it. That's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, one day.
So Lonely Tofu Art says, do you think you guys would get to a point where you have panels featuring a bunch of people from the super streams? Yes, I do think that, actually. We got to get organized, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to get to America, so I'd be in Japan, and I'd be like, "Oh, I get a call from Will here." You're like, "Yeah, we're doing a panel." I'd be like, "Okay."
I met Cynics, and I had fun hanging out with him. Is he still in the chat? Cynics, are you here?
Was he here?
I thought somebody said he was here earlier.
Oh, no. There's somebody acting like Cynics, but I didn't see Cynics.
No, I see. Yeah, I met him downtown Disney, and we went sketching there.
Yeah, he told me. He's just like, "Yeah, I met Will and his sister." I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know Will had a sister."
Yeah, my sister. She was here interviewing for a job at SpaceX.
Oh yeah, I heard she did well.
Yeah, so yeah, I met him, and I'm supposed to meet Mary Doodles.
Oh, did that happen?
No, in LA. She's overseas right now. But I'm hoping I can meet up with her and maybe get her to join in the stream. And
yes, we need her. People have been asking for a while. They're like, "Hey, so are we gonna get any like ladies in on the super stream?" It's just like,
I'll see if she's up for it. And I asked Jazza, and he said he really would like to.
Yeah,
It'd
that's
be cool to
cool.
get like a whole bunch of other YouTubers in and like
Yeah, yeah.
get a thing, you know. And
Make it a thing.
I think Syker's right that we should probably like host it on, take turns hosting it.
Yeah, yeah, on different channels and whatnot. Yeah, it'd be really fun though, really cool. Yeah, we
But
get
yeah,
Mario here. Try to get
uh,
Swoozy. He's
oh,
not
what?
nervous. So try to get Swoozy, and I just laugh.
But yeah, I think it could build into something, and we could start like doing a convention circuit or something. It'd be cool.
That'd be very cool. Yeah, it's cool because like we all come from like the way that we go about doing our channels is so different too, right? Where it's just like I mean, I'm not teaching at all, right? I'm doing Japan stuff soon, and like life advice, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and it's like you teach more the like when I watch you, I'm like feel good. Like that's what I get when I'm watching your videos. Like I learn stuff, but it's just like I'm learning such a broad range of things. And then we've got Psycho, who's like the original, like the OG art teacher. you know, you got Bob Meatbag, and Bob Meatbag is amazing. He's really good, and he scares me half to death. So there's nothing but love for Bob Meatbag. We got Jetty Jet. We got everybody. Cynics, he's just rude, and we need him to be rude and mean to people in the chat room and to us. How much I love Cynics.
Use his superpowers for good.
Yeah, yeah, right. He'd be like, nah, use it for bad. Cynics is the best.
Who's Swoozy?
Oh, Swoozy's just a different YouTuber. He does stories. He does
Oh, okay.
storytelling. Yeah, yeah. He's one of like the million subscriber YouTubers, and he's so funny. He's actually a professional gamer as well. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He's so funny. He's actually like I emailed him before I started my channel, and he actually emailed me back, which is really like he said that he does this, and I was like, yeah, right. He has a million subscribers. He's probably getting thousands of emails a day, and
Huh.
he emailed me back. He's like, yeah. He's like, if you think you want to do it, and go for it. Start your channel. I'm just like, and so then I started my channel, and then yeah, it's kind of nice. And since then, I've been meeting so many like big people, and I'm just like, oh, you're human too. Cool, nice to meet you. And so it's kind of nice.
No, turns out we're all human beings.
Yeah, whoa, surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
All right, so it looks like we're coming into the final stretch of the stream. As we've been on here for a good while. We stay consistent with our like 80+ views. This is fantastic. But yeah, so it's like we have about 8 minutes left, and then I think we can call it a day for the Super Stream weekend. Well, not Super Stream weekend, the Sit-Down weekend. The Sit-Down. Yeah, we can't take the other name. It's like will beat me up in the streets. He's really strong now. He's been working out. But yeah, just wanted to thank all of you guys who showed up and hung out with us, and hopefully you guys learned some cool stuff or had a good laugh with us, because this was really fun to do. It was kind of crazy.
Sorry about being so slow and getting on. I don't know what was going on with my internet.
It's Google. We'll blame Google because that's the real problem.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally. Yeah. Cynics is needed to bring the balance to the stream. We're all like, hey, everybody be nice to people. He's just like, I don't care. It's just like, yay, Cynics. Cynics superpower. Yeah. Honestly, I love Cynics so much. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's
It's
so
fun
cool.
hanging out with him, man. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah, I figured he'd be nicer in person too. I heard, isn't he really tall?
I mean, he's about my height. He's real skinny, though. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be taller, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's really tall. Huh. I guess you're really tall.
5'10", 5'11", something like that.
I'm 5'9". People laugh at me. They're like, "Oh, you're so short." I'm just like, I'm dating a Japanese girl. It doesn't matter.
My first 3 girlfriends were all 1 inch taller than me.
Oh, really?
And they would all rub it in.
I used to be really small back in high school. I'd make jokes about like climbing up my girlfriend or something. Like now I'm getting up there. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, this is the weirdest stream ever.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate everybody coming in for the comments and hanging out.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining. It's awesome. I wasn't sure. It's just like, can I get him? Will you join me?
Let's try it again in a couple weeks. We'll keep it an ongoing thing.
Yeah, yeah. I plan on getting some of the other guys in on the streams too. And again, like you're saying, it'd be kind of cool to get like a rotating super stream and adding members and stuff. And you know, if the future could call for panels and stuff like that, that'd be amazing. Because like, you know, we got cool stuff to give, and if you guys like it, then you know.
I wonder if we could get something going at VidCon. I don't know, because there's not much art represented at VidCon.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have a section on YouTube, so it's like
even at even Mary Doodles was like in a dunk tape. She wasn't even talking about art.
Oh, really?
Dunk tank where they throw things and dunk.
Oh, a dunk! Oh, an actual dunk tank.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Right, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you everybody for showing up. It's fantastic. Again, if you, although you probably all do know Will, but if you don't know Will, you know. I put his link in the description of the chat. You know, so you can go over there, check it out. Go over there, subscribe to him because he is amazing. And yeah, thank you again for joining. This was awesome.
All right.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna say our goodbyes now. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to say bye. as soon as I kill the call, the chat ends, and so it's like I'll let people say goodbye.
Are we?
I've done that. I've been like,
oh, we're still alive.
We're still live for a few minutes. It finally happened.
Da, 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 da. See ya.
Oh man, yeah, the chat is actually behind. By the way,
awesome. I don't know if we can get Mark Curley.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I haven't actually tried to contact him, but yeah, I don't know. I forget he's really.
I think we need to have something more established that he would recognize.
Yeah. That'd be hardcore. Yes. Okay.
We'll let our audiences contact him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, if you want to see this person on, you know what to do. Get them, get in contact with them, tweet them, do something, you know. But yeah. All right. So
well, like, we rolling credits now.
Yeah, I know. Just like music is playing. Just dancing bloopers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'll do the
chat's not even updating.
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame. All right, I'm gonna end it now. The chat's not even updating, so whatever. All right, see you guys. Peace out. Thank you all again. Oh, there it goes. It's all happening now. All right, peace out, and we're out in 3, 2, 1.